but swimming feels like that too. Like I felt safe in 8 feet of water, but not in 80.
Yeah. And you get accustomed to those heights. Like I've worked on roofs before, and after a while, like 12 or 15-foot roof, even if you go up to the peak or whatever, and you're really up there, like maybe 15. All right, I'm not that scared. I wouldn't die. Hell, I'd hit it hard, but I'd get back up. You're not even afraid of it anymore. And then you go like 1 story higher, and you're like, oh no, you're like sweaty palms. My feet just got sweaty thinking about it.
That is more dangerous though. Going from 15 to 25.
Yeah, you go
fall.
survivable to you're going to the hospital 100% if you fall off a 2-story, I think.
My coworker fell off. No, my coworker's husband fell off a 2nd-story roof, and he got hurt, like brain damage, like a long recovery. But what happened? So he was working on the roof, and something happened. He fell or slipped. He doesn't have a full memory of it, but they could see the scene where it happened. And I guess he grabbed the gutter with his fingers, and the gutter gave way. And that gave him a lot of emotional comfort. Like, I didn't just fall off and go down like a clumsy asshole. Mm-hmm. I would have been fine if that gutter didn't give way.
Yeah. Like Clark Griswold putting the lights on the house. You ever see that clip in Christmas Vacation? He's hanging on to the gutter, and finally it gives way. And so the gutter peels off the house and sort of swings hard, but there was a frozen chunk of ice in the bottom of the gutter that like spears into the neighbor's house, like goes through their window, destroys the entertainment center. But it's like the perfect crime, because then the ice melts and they don't understand what caused all this damage. It's like James Bond came and damaged their VCR and shit. And I saw a green text, and it was called the Pissdisk. You take a plate and you piss in it, and you freeze it, and you create a Pissdisk, and then you can slide it under your neighbor's door.
Dude, I was shocked when you sent me a green text of that, because I remember in middle school, this guy Joe telling me about piss discs.
Hell yeah.
This predates that. This would have been
of course
pre 4chan, obviously.
Probably
so it's a classic prank.
But I'm on UnethicalProTips. Do you know this subreddit?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. So people will ask for advice like, I've been asked to share a cube with a woman who farts a lot. I need some unethical advice to get this cube back to myself. And the shit you hear is outrageous. Here's an actual example. A guy said, hey, my neighbor is going to move out and make his house an Airbnb. How can I benefit from this? And a bunch of them were like, okay, you want to stay there? And then you have a key made. And now you can stay there anytime you want. Just go to Airbnb and see when it's booked and when it's not. And I'm like, all right, that's actually kind of dope. They're like, yeah. And you want to stay there one night, by the way. This is your investment. You get the key. You also get the Wi-Fi password. You're never paying for Wi-Fi again. Just cancel that shit. He's your next door neighbor and he's got Wi-Fi. You're done. And they had this whole litany of ways that he could benefit. They were suggesting that he download all the pictures with the key and also rent out the Airbnb. It's not even his.
Man, they're like, all right, here's what you want to do. You want to get wrist deep in a few felonies. Oh, for no gain, for no tangible gain, you get bad Wi-Fi.
I would steal power.
You want to be like, go in there and you're like, oh, there's no wonder he's Airbnb, and this is way worse than my house.
I'd steal power and water if that were the case. If I thought I could get away with it, I think I would. Although, like, Jesus, that's such a small amount of money. Like, I looked my last month, I think my gas bill was like $90 and my electricity was like $30. Like what kind of scheme are we running here where we're profiting $30 a month stealing electricity?
Yeah,
probably
and the
not
amount of time you're spending, and you probably get stressed out at some point. So now you have anxiety over committing a litany of crimes.
I hope that cord doesn't overheat in the night.
Yeah. What, did I leave something in his house? He's gonna find me.
And if they got cameras, I know Airbnb doesn't allow cameras indoors now. It's a new policy, but if they ever were to catch you, it'd be so humiliating.
Yeah. How would Airbnb, like, they're not sending anybody to inspect your house?
I guess you turn.
So the way it works, so the way I've stayed at a ton of Airbnbs, and without fail, the way it works is the person has a cleaning company that goes in and gets the place spruced up 8-10 hours before a person's going to stay. And sometimes you just wouldn't have enough. You'd have to have some sort of bot checking that thing and notifying you that someone is going to stay there to have any chance of getting out of there. And then, like I said, the cleaning people are on their way. You couldn't stay there. There's no way.
Yeah.
You get caught.
But what if you live next door? Which
Even
is
then,
like the most purposeless thing.
Yeah, like what are you vacationing next door? Like what are you doing?
Yeah, like the only way to really benefit is like, I don't know, put a tag on their front door to like stop lawn service and be like, actually cut the other house. Like,
or maybe like if you're already a criminal, like let's say you're a drug dealer, a real drug dealer.
A very low level shithead criminal.
Maybe you sell your drugs out of the next door neighbor's house, and then if anything ever does go wrong, you know, you're just going out the back door into your back door to where your drugs are actually kept. But you only
ma'am, do you recognize this man on camera? Yeah, that's my neighbor. I see him all the time.
You see, there he is peering through the blinds. He's opened it far too wide.
He's that one holding the crack pipe.
I used to have a key. I used to work at a hotel, and as such, I had the master key that opened every door. This is back when you used metal keys.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any way, or at least a good way, to know if the room was taken or not. But I would just sort of roll the dice sometimes. Like, well, it's 9:30 p.m. and no one's checked in.
Probably good.
They're pretty good that they're not coming at like 10 at night. Who, you know?
Yeah.
So
that job is really fun initially.
So you go in there and lay down on the floor?
If I wanted to just like chill, I use the model room typically and just like do nothing because I was allowed. You wouldn't need to use a regular room. But if I wanted to like bang my girlfriend, I would use a regular room that no one would walk into.
Oh, how nefarious.
Well, I'd have a better spot.
I mean, that's the best spot imaginable when you don't have a spot. It's like, actually, I own a hotel. You hold the master key up.
Like, and you're 17, so she believes it. Like, what? Do you think I stumbled upon this monocle?
I prefer really dumb girls.
Yeah. Have you ever read Richie Rich, the comic? Yes.
So like when you're working at the hotel, is it like you first get the master key and you're like, wow, I can look at any room, and then after like 3 you're like, okay, well, this is just work.
Yeah. Oh my, it was the worst. I wasn't paid very well, and they wanted me to do jobs that were hard, so I would always like, here's the deal, I was hired to give pillows and like plunge a toilet now and then, just be on call at nighttime. And then they'd be like, you know what? I want all the carpets in all the hallways steam cleaned. I'll get that guy who's here overnight to do it. And I'd do it for like 15, 20 minutes. Tell them like, I'm doing my best. It's not coming that clean. I'll get back to it.
Damn.
That was it. Because I'm like, you pay me like a fucking pillow runner, you get a pillow runner. That's it. Yeah. Steam cleaning floors is not done for $5 an hour.
Yeah.
No. Well, it was the 80s.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But it was.
Are you cleaning floors now? Is this a side hustle?
No, I want to say, it might have been 89, but it could. I want to say it was like 1990.
Yeah,
but you're not far off.
Yeah, I can't remember. I just had a brain blank. I was listening to something about Trump or someone, and there was something about $85 million, but it was like 1990s money. I wish I could remember what it was.